Hello folks, Dave Schulke here with the Twin Home Experts. I want to go ahead and take time now, give you step by step on how to properly remove and reset your toilet with a brand new wax seal. So let's go ahead and start off with some of the things that you're going to need. Shop vac's always helpful to remove and discharge the water from the toilet bowl. Second thing is your tools. I like using a pair of channel locks like this. I like using this little scraper here. It's a good way to remove the residual old wax seal and help place it in a bag. The other thing is we like practicing here at the Twin Home Experts, the absorbent pads. It's a great way to lay this on the floor. Any water captures here, it'll actually absorb it. As far as the materials, we like using a 4-inch deep anti-leak wax seal. So there's a plastic funnel in here that allows the water to go through. That's why they consider it anti-leak. The other thing that you might need is brand new bolts. And I'll show you this a little bit later. But anyhow, these are the fundamental things that you're going to need. Let's go ahead and start with the toilet. The first step we're going to do is go ahead and go to the shutoff valve, which is typically located at the left bottom of the toilet. What we're going to do is turn that handle clockwise until it stops. Starts to tighten. Once you determine that the valve is off, you want to go ahead and flush the toilet to make sure that you do not have any water coming in to the fill valve. And as you can see, we're verifying that this toilet did shut off. So now we're ready for the vacuum. All right, we've got our vacuum ready. We're going to go ahead and start removing the water inside the tank. Once we remove the water from the tank, we go ahead and place the hose inside the bowl and remove the water that's inside the bowl. Now this allows us to properly remove the toilet without water going everywhere. So let's go ahead now and go to the toilet. All right, now that we've removed the water from the tank and the bowl, we're ready to go ahead and remove the bolts, which are located down here. Get your channel locks like this. And again, you want to go counterclockwise. Once you remove the bolts with the channel locks, a lot of times you could just use your hands to finish the rest. Now don't throw these away quite yet because these could be useful. So we'll go ahead and set these on the side. And we can go ahead and take care of the other one. Here's the second set we're going to go ahead and put to the side. Okay folks, now we're ready to go ahead and remove the toilet from the flange. Alright folks, in the event that you've got some caulking or some grout, I do recommend, especially if it's toilets mounted on the tile, to go ahead and break that caulking seal either with a sharp point like this or a razor knife. We're going to go ahead and use this and demonstrate. You want to go ahead, use 2 hands, and then just drive this in between the floor and the toilet. And by doing this, by breaking the seal, what happens is it's going to protect the tile. Sometimes if the tile's not set in right, you can actually lift the tile up. So you want to make sure that you break that seal nice and even. Okay, now we're ready to go ahead and uplift the toilet. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get a bag. I like using this trick here. The reason why is because when we remove the toilet, you're going to get a lot of residue of wax. Getting that on the floor is messy. So just get yourself a large, hefty bag like this. What you want to do is open it up. It's about the size of the toilet there. We're going to raise it up and set it inside the bag here. Then we'll put this off to the side and prep the toilet flange. Alright folks, so instead of just pulling the toilet up, go ahead and we tend to move it left and right. And that breaks the remaining seal that we couldn't get. Now we're ready to go ahead and lift up and place inside the bag, just like that. Perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and remove it out of our way. We've got a tight space here. Alright folks, so I want to take a quick moment and show you why it's important to make sure you get the right thickness of wax seal. This toilet's been seeping downstairs, so come down here, let me show you the reason. This wax seal was never installed properly. As you can see here, this portion of the toilet should be compressed. Okay, and it's not. And look at the buildup of sewage that we're getting here. We're gonna go ahead and raise this wax seal so when we set the toilet, you're actually gonna get a compressed feeling here. So I just want you to see that here before we put the new wax seal in. All right, folks, so now we're ready to go ahead and install our wax seal. But before we do that, let's get our little putty knife here. The first thing you wanna do is remove the old caulking from the floor. That's just scraping. Okay, now that we removed the caulking, we've done a nice wipe down here. I like to go ahead and get a bag just like this with some latex gloves. Go in, put your hand over the wax seal and lift the wax seal out just like that. Then turn the bag inside out. Now you've got a clean hand, and now you're ready to dispose the old wax seal without any big mess. All right. Now that this has been removed, we're ready to set the new wax seal in. What we practice here at the Twin Home Experts is you get your bowl, take a washer, place it over the bolt like that, and then get your nut and pre-screw this on like this. Okay, it should look like that now. Okay, now once you have this prepped, come a little closer here. Now here this has already been done, but you can see how solid these are. And that's my point. When you slide these over like this, allow that washer to hit the flange, and then bolt this all the way down and line that up, tighten that down. Once you do that, then what you're gonna have is a nice secured bolt like this. If you don't put these nuts, what'll happen is these end up getting loose, and later on the toilet tends to move as well. So this is a very important step and a little trick that you should do to really get a good secured toilet, okay? So I just wanted to give you that peace of mind there. Now, once this is done, you're ready to go ahead and install the wax seal. Now, there are a couple different wax seals. This one here is an anti-leak, meaning there's a horn, a plastic horn in here, okay? Now, I don't really like this one, but it still works perfect. You might want to find the one that's 4-inch. The reason why is this is a 4-inch opening here. So the bigger the opening, the better flow. So we're gonna go ahead and use this one right here. It's 3-inch. We're gonna go ahead and slide it on top like that. Now you can see that this is much higher than the old wax seal that we removed. This is about, I would say a good 1/2 inch above the floor. So the toilet's really gonna compress well with this. Now, if this is too low, get yourself a number 5, which is a wax seal without the horn. That looks like this, okay? Just all wax. You could take it and just place it on the top. Make sure it's secured like that. Now you're ready, okay? But in this situation, we don't need an additional wax seal. We're actually good elevation right here for this to seal. Let's go ahead and bring the toilet in and mount it to the floor. All right, folks, so if you're resetting your old toilet, it's always a good idea to inspect underneath the bowl. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Come in close here. And as you can see here, we've got some old, I don't know what that is. Now that you can see it's completely clean. So this is the stuff that you want to be able to remove. Any old wax in here as well, go ahead and clean that. But as you can see, it's nice and clean now, ready to go ahead and do the install. All right, folks, I've got the toilet here. This is a good way to hold it. Put your elbows on your knees, like a sumo wrestler. Go ahead and walk it in. Then put your eyes, lower it slow. Now, you're gonna feel the wax seal in the toilet meet. You wanna be able to make sure when you feel that, go ahead and push down all the way to the floor. Go ahead and straighten the toilet up. Now we're ready to bolt the thing down. All right, guys, that was pretty heavy, but I sure got a good pump on. Look at that. Look at that. All right, never mind. Let's get back down to business here. Come down here, I'm gonna show you a little trick here with these little washers. All right, guys, I'm gonna get my glasses because I can't see with well, you know. Anyhow, I'm here with the bolts. See, right here, one side says this side up, then the other is where this sits on the bottom base of the toilet bowl. Okay, so make sure you look at this because these caps are gonna snap onto that. Okay, once you determine the proper side, go ahead and slide these over the bolts just like that. The other one, same thing. Now you're ready for your washers. This is very, very important to have because the bolts are actually going to compress that down. So if you don't use these right here can break those plastic little closet bolt caps. So slide that over. Now you're ready for the bolt. Now here you're going to do clockwise. Now you just want to go ahead and hand tighten that first. Both sides, hand tighten. And the point being is you want to equally tighten each side. The other important factor too is when you're tightening down, make sure those washers stay center. If you use a wrench, sometimes the washer will slide to the left or right. So if you hand tighten, everything will stay in line. Now you're ready for those little channel locks again. All right, here's the little channel locks. We're gonna go ahead now and finish the bolting down of the toilet. 1, 2, 3. Come on the other side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. Then you want to go ahead and take a step back. Just make sure that the toilet is nice and straight. And then go ahead and finish up tighten. You don't want to over tighten this. You're going to feel the nut just enough to where you'll get a sense of that's pretty secure. If you keep going, you're going to end up possibly breaking the toilet flange. Just small little increments here is the best practice. Now look at that, nice and tight, it's not wobbling. All right folks, now that we've secured the toilet properly, we're ready now to go ahead and make the water line connection to the toilet and turn the water back on to verify if there's any leaks. So the way you do that is obviously take the supply line, connect it to the fill valve. In this, you're going to turn counterclockwise, and that'll tighten it up. Again, use your hand first to make sure that you're getting multiple threads. Then your small channel locks again. Open them up all the way. And after you hand tighten, because it's a plastic nut, all you need is maybe one full turn, and that's it. So we'll go ahead and take our channel locks. It is a little bit of a tight space, so have to get in here, lay on the floor. And that's where it's at. While we're down here, go ahead and turn the water on. I want to turn the valve slow. You want to open the valve all the way. Once you do that, a very, very important thing is take a flashlight, look at the valve, make sure there's no drip. Sometimes when you open and close these, it does cause a little bit of a drip. Not a big deal if it drips. Go ahead and tighten up the packing washer on that. Alright, now that we've got the water back on, we'll go ahead, flush it a couple of times. Make sure that we don't have any leaks there. All right, folks, so I like using a flashlight when you flush. Go ahead and flush the toilet. Probably gonna have to flush 2 or 3 times to verify. Take your flashlight like this. And then you wanna look at your connections, which is the most important part as well. Do this for a good 2 to 3 minutes just to verify that nothing's leaking. You know, sometimes a slow leak causes more damage than a sudden leak. So make sure you spend that proper time diagnosing that all your connections and the wax seal is fine. Once you do that, you can go ahead now and have the option of using some white caulking to caulk around the toilet. It's a good way to prevent any type of dust and stuff going underneath the toilet. Okay? If the toilet is setting on an uneven floor or the toilet seems to be wobbly, you might want to pick these up at the local hardware store. They're considered toilet shims, so it allows you to slide these on the areas that are needed, balancing the toilet down. So once you shim the toilet up with these are a permanent fix. Then you go ahead and tighten the bolts down. Anyhow, folks, hopefully you enjoyed how to install this toilet. And as always, thanks for watching.